Hi everybody, it's Galactic Man Larry here again with another Star Wars The Vintage Collection figure review, and today we have in front of us from Star Wars Expanded Universe the Shae Vizla reissue, which I'm very glad to have. I was surprised, partly because this figure was very sought after and it was hard to get. I got this one by chance back in the day, like 2012 or 11 or something like that. Back in the day, I just got into a retail store in Freiburg in Germany, and this and a couple like Darth Malgus and the Star Killer, and they were just pristine sitting on the shelf. They were just put there that day, I guess, and I just took them. And back in the day, I left one of the Ahsoka, the one that went super expensive back in the day, and now we have the reissue as well, because I didn't like it. But I did get this one and the other two I mentioned, and I don't know if any else. And since then I was an opener back in the day, and I was like, it was not possible for me to open this one because I thought it looked so cool, but I was also one of the people who was like, that face, that head sculpt is so ugly. And now we have this one, which is like, yeah, it makes justice. It looks much more like the illustration. You can see the peel in the original one. Says Old Republic Bounty Hunter. It has the Darth Maul life-size statue that you could win. That sticker there, exactly in the artwork. But now I have this other one, so I can have both versions sealed. I have another one that it's the one we're gonna take out, because this one arrived from Hasbro Pulse with a really pristine card. The one I had to the side, it was from Savvy, and the card was all the corners are damaged. But this one, I must say, Hasbro Pulse, at least here in Germany, but I think everywhere, they really, so far for me, they have taken care that everything is nicely packed and it doesn't dance around in the box and gets all smashed. They pack things nicely. That's my experience so far, so I have to give them that. This is from Hasbro Pulse. The ones I'm opening is from savvy.de, and this one was from a retail store back in the day. I paid like, I think back then it was like 12 euros. And I remember seeing this online here in Amazon. It was like 600 euros at some point, and the Ahsoka one like 1,000, crazy stuff. I'm sure, or I guess this one now is going down in price, but I don't care. I'm keeping it. It's unpunched. You can see the card is a bit warped, but it's not damaged. At some point I tried to remove the sticker before I knew this figure was so valuable, because I didn't want to have all this gump, as Bosk from Bosk Bounty says. I wanted to have the card as it is, but now maybe it's even good that I have that sticker. But I tried to remove it back in the day, and yeah, I still have to fix that corner. I really, yeah, it's not, well, it's a bit warped. Yeah, it's not pristine, of course, but it's just by mere chance that I never opened it. It was before I was serious in keeping a carded copy. Well, and here we have the one we're opening. I already just cut the bubble. Let's take that out. You can see, this one is the one from Savvy, and even if that corner is all smashed, otherwise it would have been, well, no, that or a lower corner, so it was obvious this is one I'm opening. And luckily both figures have the same quality in the paint applications. So there you have the figure in the bubble. I haven't removed it yet, even if I cut it open a couple of days ago, but I was like, until I make the review, I'm not taking anything out of this bubble. So there you can see how she's there in the bubble, her guns, her flame effects, the figure looking cool. And I think you can see as well, let me take back the original release, her armor, the new release, has much more, the paint is more shiny, which is also a win, for the patience and holding, not opening the figure, because yeah, this release is the one we've been waiting for. And there you have Shae Vizla out of the packaging and looking amazing. I'm very happy to finally have this figure in hand, and this updated version, which is just much better than the older one. Yeah, that face sculpt brings it up a couple of levels. Here we have, she comes with these two flame effects, which are super heavy. Now I'm very curious. I will check later with G.I. Joe classified figures and such. I think this peg might be able to go into their weapons, let's see. But yeah, I'm sure these things are super heavy for this figure. I mean, she's relatively tiny. I mean, if you keep her like this, yeah, but you will need a stand or to bring her in a kneeling position or something like that she doesn't fall, like. Anyway, I'm just improvising. There you have one. You can do that. Shae Vizla burning everything. It looks cool, I must say, but you just have to keep it on top of the hand, otherwise it will just warp and hang. She has this amazing face sculpt. I mean, in my opinion, I'm not sure if I'm missing something, but maybe the best female head sculpt we have in the vintage collection so far. I don't know. I mean, I don't have every single figure, and this is a character from a video game, so we never saw an actress or something, but we only had, well, I didn't play the game, so if you played the game and you remember having this character without the helmet, does she look like the actual character? I don't know, but I think it's a very nice head sculpt, and you can keep it with this figure, or maybe you can repurpose for some other character which might have a not so achieved head sculpt. I'll bring that in a moment. But yeah, you can see she has the older, well, she has just swivel hips. That's a bit of a misfortune for this figure, but still, it's still a great looking figure. She comes with this backpack attached in the bubble. I just took it off, and of course it adds to the look of this very particular armor. Well, we have the head sculpt, but we can also, of course, put the helmet on. It has the ball is so deep that you can, that you don't get to see that skin tone unless you lift the head. Let's go to articulation. You can lift the head that far. This is with the helmet one, of course. You can look downwards like almost nothing. Just look straight. A little bit of tilt to the sides. Can go all the way around, of course. The shoulders, if you lift them, there you have the shoulder pads clashing with the armor, but if you push down a bit, you can, even this one, which is really over I mean, you push it down a bit and you can lift the arms, not to a T-pose, but a really decent range for the amount of armor she has. So that's a plus. You have no bicep swivel, of course. You have that in the elbows. The elbows can bend up to 90 degrees, or almost, but let's say 90. You can turn it to the sides, of course. The hands are just in swivels, and both are trigger finger hands. She has a diaphragm joint here. She can bend backwards, well, with this jetpack only that far, but if you remove it, you can really bend backwards quite some. So you can do the flight poses, and you can fake, like, just place the jetpack there without pushing the peg in. She can bend forward that far. That's also, let me put back the jetpack on. She has a nice range. I mean, for the size of the figure, for the scale, this diaphragm joint is it has the moves, She can tilt to the sides and, of course, turn all the way around. Just, of course, make sure that nothing is frozen so that you don't stress or bend the peg or break it, snap it. The legs can kick forward that far. Let's see if that's for both sides. Yeah, but they can also kick backwards, so you can really bring some forward kicking or backwards. Of course, nothing at the waist. Well, not of course, but your turn is on the diaphragm, which is actually almost a bit too loose. The knees is where you have like your thigh cut. You have a 90-degree bend. The old style articulation here for the feet, just a horizontal swivel and a vertical swivel that can go backwards that far and forwards that far. But it's it's a good one, but no tilt. Let's first of all show her guns. I think they're really interesting ones. I mean, we don't see, I think he's the only character with so far that comes with this specific gun design or model. So there you have Shae Vizla fully armored and with both guns on her, I mean, wielding both her blasters there. And we can bring, for size comparisons, this guy, also from that day, from back in the day, you know, this rare release of the Republic Trooper or whatever. We also have from afterwards, I think, the Black Series, what was her name? Mara Jade, which has this, I mean, it's not terrible, unless, I mean, when you turn her to the side, she has quite a flat head, or it looks a bit weird, you know. But yeah, she has quite the glam rocker hairstyle. Cool thing is it has a wash. I must keep that. But, and I got a copy that has a nice, I mean, the eyes are not all wonky. And this is what I wanted to show you. I mean, if you like it, you can use this head for Mara Jade so that she looks a bit better. It's a bit wobbly. I mean, the peg, the ball peg on this figure is not the same size as the opening on this head. It's not just because of I just popped the head and put it in and it has to close down again. I think it's just a bit of a different size, but you can fix that with blue tack or whatever you want to use to. Yeah, you could fix that if you want it. There you have a maybe better option for Mara Jade. And this one I just place it there in order to put it in. I mean, it's just really, I didn't even push it down all the way. Just this head is very specific, you know, but I had to remove the jetpack because the sculpt doesn't allow. And yes, I checked it and these things are compatible with the G.I. Joe classified peg holes for the weapons and all of that. The problem here, I mean, here we have a bat and that's the flamethrower arm and this is a flame effect. The thing is, you know, as soon as you don't support it, it goes all flaccid. So nice looking piece, but it's too heavy to hold itself. So again, for size comparisons, there you have Shae Vizla next to Mara Jade and the Republic Trooper. There you have her next to a couple of army builders, like this Stormtrooper with the pauldron, the Death Watch Mandalorian, and both these ARC Troopers from Battlefront 2. And there you have her next to Boba Fett, Din Djarin, Grogu, Ahsoka Tano, a Death Trooper, and the Shore Trooper. And yes, before I forget, this is not a necessary size comparison with the Mandalorian female figures from nowadays and Fennec Shand, which are like the smaller female characters in the vintage collection. I don't know if they're small because that's the actual size of the actresses, or just because something went wrong while designing, that these figures might be a bit underscaled. They are amazing figures, but to me they look a bit smaller than every other. I mean, yeah, they're much tinier than the male characters, of course, and even than some female characters that might be ideally the same size, you know. And that's it for this review. I'm super glad to finally have Shae Vizla loose out of the card and being able to play with her. And I really love the new head sculpt. I think it's a figure everybody collecting the vintage collection should get. I don't know if that's superfluous to say, because I think everybody will get her if you're collecting this line. But yeah, a great one. Of course, the hips are old style, but the figure is from like 10 years ago. So, but still, I think it's a great figure even for nowadays. And that head sculpt is something you could use in several bodies, I would say. I mean, at least I'm curious about checking it in different female bodies from Star Wars. And please, if you like this review and if you found it useful and entertaining, please leave a like, share and subscribe. That helps me a lot. I thank you in advance. Please take care, stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao, ciao.